beloved. First of all, I want to tell you why I say beloved. And that is because I want you to know that there is at least one consciousness in this universe that loves you. I may not know you, but there is one, at least, who absolutely adores you. So anyway, what I want to talk about is something very different. I want to talk about a pastime that we are all at risk of engaging in. And it's a pastime that's a lot of fun. It brings you just the sense of righteousness and the sense of, well, the Germans call it Schadenfreude, shameful joy. And what I'm talking about, of course, is judgment. And I want to talk about sin. So, but the thing about judgment is we like to do it. We engage in it all the time. And I have to say that I am trying very hard to judge less. And I will pat myself on the back and say that I'm better at it. I'm a long way from where I want to be, but I'm better at it. But I only am better at it because I am aware that I am doing it. So I was visiting someone a couple of days ago, and I was at the porch and I was waiting for the door to open, and I look across the street and I see a car pull up with a family, mother and 3 teenage boys get out, and she's carrying all the groceries, right? Because they're teenagers. And she comes out of the car and is effing this and you effing never effing help me. You get it in the effing help me. Right? And I'm looking at her and I go, oh, look, I see a sign on her house that shows me that she's not from the same tribe as I am. Aha. Yeah. Okay. That's how you guys parent, huh? And then I learned that that woman had just lost her husband a few months ago. And she's all alone. And she's dealing with bills and I don't know what costs and what grief and what she's having to deal with. And she suddenly became very human to me. And I knew that to condemn her, to go over and say, I can't believe you're treating your children that way, would only drive her deeper into her own misery. It wouldn't solve anything. It might make me feel better for a little while. But both of us then would be engaging in sin. Now, sin is not some sort of oil that that comes out of your pores or something. Sin is wrong action. It is a mistake. You're taking a wrong path and you need to go in a different path. That's what sin is. It's something that is done, that you do. And the most famous probably story about sin and judgment is probably the one where Jesus says to the crowd, you who are without sin, cast the first stone. Right? But the sort of story around it, I think, is also pretty meaty. So Jesus is in the temple courts. He's teaching a class. He's got a group of people around him that he's teaching to. And in the middle of his class, the Pharisees come in and they drag in a woman and they bring her to the head of the class and they plop her down there and they say, look, teacher, this is a woman caught in adultery. Now, the law of Moses says we've got to stone her. What do you say? Jesus. Stoops down and writes in the dust, which is this fantastic action because he's doing a couple of things at once. First of all, he's doing something that I need to do. Probably he doesn't, but I do, and he's showing me the way. Sometimes when I am upset and when I'm prone to judgment, what I need to do is to step back. I need to take a moment and reorder my thinking because I'm prone to judgment and I need to remember not to judge. I have to consciously think about it. So it helps. I was having a phone conversation with someone and I felt like I would have had a better conversation if I'd said, you know what? Let me call you back in 10 minutes, right? Just to sort of take a breath, rethink, reorder, and begin again. So Jesus is doing that. But the other thing that he's doing that I think goes unnoticed, and I just found out about this too, is that what he's doing is the rules of the game are, the rules that the Pharisees are supposed to follow is, first of all, that both of them, the man and the woman, are supposed to be present. Not just the woman, both of them. That's the law. Secondly, to properly do it, you have to write in the dust what the accusation is. And so by writing in the dust, Jesus is saying to the Pharisees, I know what you're about. I know this is a sham. I see through what you're doing. But he doesn't shame them in front of everyone. He reminds them that he knows what's going on. And then he turns to the crowd and he says, okay, you who are without sin, cast the first stone. What he's doing is he is appealing to their better natures. And wonder of wonders, this time it works. And I have to say, thank you to that first person who put down their rock and walked away, because one by one, they go away until the only two that are left are the woman and Jesus. And Jesus is still writing in the sand. And he says, where's everybody gone? Does no one condemn you? And the woman says, no, sir. And he says, then I won't condemn you either. So he's saying that if you have sins like yourself, if you've been like this person, not exactly, but you've done things that are wrong, that you regret, you are like that woman. And that's part of how we escape judging other people. We see them as somewhat like ourselves. It's so easy to make someone else be the other, and so easy to make us feel superior. And Jesus is reminding them that we have all fallen short. And he's also saying that I, Jesus, I, who am without sin, also do not condemn you. And he says, go and sin no more, because what she's involved in is a destructive relationship. She's in a destructive relationship. She's going and she's bringing that destruction into this new relationship. And that's the sin. That's the mistake. And that is what Jesus is encouraging her not to do. So as we go into our world, let us pause. Let us take a minute and mentally write in the dust the next time that we're encouraged to judge someone else. God bless.